Hello, we are the Ministry of the Real Truth, and welcome back to part 2 of textbooks of Aramaic documents from ancient Egypt, newly copied, edited and translated into Hebrew and English by Bezalel, Porten and Ada Yardini, containing the letters and an appendix of the Aramaic letters from the Bible. We did do this for a length of time, thinking we had recorded it, and stupid simple screen recorder for some reason decided it didn't want to record, so we have to do it again. We'll do it briefly, right? Yeah. So we're going to have a look at this book. Inside of this book, okay, this is the Adon letters, end of the 7th century BCE. This is the earliest Aramaic letter on papyrus. It dates from the end of the 7th century BCE, though an attempt has been made to predate it by a century. The letter is fragmentary and the provenance of the sender is missing. If the demotic line on the verse is correctly interpreted, the city is Ekron. Okay, and here's the recto: to Lord of Kings Pharaoh, your servant Adon, king of Ekron. May the gods of heaven, so there's several gods there, right? Probably a pantheon of gods. Or it could be related to the triune, but I don't think so. Heaven and earth and Shamayan, the great god. It's like a single, there's a whole lot of gods here, pantheon of gods, and there's a single god. Seek after the welfare of my Lord, Lord of Kings, Pharaoh, or the king, abundantly at all times, and may they lengthen the days of the Pharaoh or king's life like the days of the heavens and the waters, and so forth. The force of the king of Babylon has come and reached effect, and they have seized and brought in all. For the Lord of Kings, Pharaoh, knows that your servants, okay, brought all the people to Babylon probably, to send a force to rescue me. Do not abandon me, for your servant did not violate the treaty of the Lord of Kings, and your servant preserved his good relations. So he's asking for him to come rescue him, through a letter probably. And as for this commander and governor in the land, and as for the letter of Sindur, verso demotic, what the Greek one of the Ekron gave to. Yeah. A parcel of family letters discovered at Hermopolis, Department of Archaeology, University of Cairo, Egypt, late 6th, early 5th century BCE. 6 of these 7 letters were written by 3 individuals to members of their family at Syene and Luxor. 4 letters went to Syene. The 4 letters sent to Syene all bear greetings to temples there: Bethel and the Queen of Heaven, Banit and Nabu. 1 letter was sent by Nabusha, and 3 by his younger stepbrother Banit. Of the 2 letters sent by this family to Luxor, 1 was jointly written by Nabusha and Banit, and the 6th letter, Jesus's names missing, contains greetings from Banit and probably from Nabusha as well. All 6 letters were written by the same scribe, probably from the same papyrus roll, one after another, in the order herein arranged. The 7th letter was written by a different scribe on behalf of Ami and sent to Atardimri at Luxor. The letters may be dated according to script to the late 6th or early 5th century BCE, and there's a list of them there who received these letters and what they were about. Okay, regarding garments of oil, shekels, wool, oil, beams, welfare of somebody, skins, beams, oil, and so forth. Vessels, oil, and a snake bite. And here's some letters here. Okay, it says here: greetings to the temple of Bethel and the temple of the Queen of Heaven, to my sister Nanahim from your brother Nabusha. I have blessed you by Ptah, that he may let me behold your face in peace. Greetings to Bethel Nathan. Greetings to Nkai, and Ashash, and Tashi, and etc. So maybe those are temples, or they're actually related to them. And probably relations to them, right? And now the tunic which you sent me has reached me, and I have found it completely frayed, and my heart is not attached to it because it's damaged, right? I do not like it. If I saw what you had in abundance, I would give it in exchange. For I vessel for RT, and now the garment which you bought for me to Syene, I am wearing, and now let me bring us castor oil, and we shall give it in exchange for oil. Castor oil, you take that if you got constipation. Yep, it's like a bowel loosener, but yeah, use it for other things as well, right? It was recommended if you ever had that problem, you swallow castor oil in the old days. Now, do not be concerned about us, etc., etc. Take care and protect Bethel Nathan from against Habib. Maybe that's a temple, or that city, whatever. And now, if I find a trustworthy man, I shall bring dispatch something to you. Greetings to blah blah blah, son of Shug. Greetings to the whole neighbourhood. I have sent this letter to inquire about your welfare. How are you doing? Greeting to his father, Sami, from his servant Nabusha, and so forth. Okay. All seems well. He's asking for as well. And then this one's greeting to the temple at Banit in Syene, and then to his sister. Maybe his sister's in that temple, I'm not too sure. Blessed you by Ptah. I blessed you by Tar. Never say the P, right? It's like Ptolemy, don't say Ptolemy. That he may show me your face in peace, and so forth. And he's talking about money. He bought olive oil, perfumes or something like that, a tunic. And another greeting to a different temple. I have blessed you by Tar, that he may show your face in peace. So these people were embracing probably these Egyptian gods or something like that for a while there. Greeting to another temple of Banit and Syene. He's blessing him on behalf of Tar, or through Tar, and all these goodies that he's bought. He's telling him about that, and even more letters to different people. And what is that? This that you have not sent a letter to me. And as for me, a snake had bit me, and I was dying, and you did not send to inquire if I was alive or if I was dead. I have sent this letter to inquire about your welfare, yeah, and also to tell him, why didn't you turn up when it was reported I got bitten by a snake? You know, you weren't there for me, bro. Another letter to someone, blessing him through Tar. And this one's to his mother. Sent blessings of welfare and life, and so forth. Was his private letter, mid-5th, early 4th century BCE. And some information on that one. Okay, so it may not even be a letter. One letter of the end of the century was written by Hoshaiah, son of Nathan, maybe that's Hosea, and two other letters by Hosea. May be the same person. They may be the same person wrote that letter, or that person that received it's the same person. Who knows? Here's some more. And these basically lead up to where these Jews in Persia, somebody destroyed the temple and the fortress. You know, he didn't like them, so he was telling all this rubbish to Darius, the king at the time, and so he sent these Egyptians out there. Apparently, he says, "I employ these Egyptian troops to go there and destroy it." So they did, and then these people said, can you like help us to rebuild it, you know, you pay for it, all that sort of stuff, we'll go there, you know, give us all your lambs and goats and rams, all that sort of stuff, so we can go there. Because basically Darius was a tool. Okay, he wasn't the Messiah, he wasn't a Mashiach, as some people try to tell us in Isaiah 45:1. That's a load of rubbish. Maybe Mashiach is like a rescuer or a reliever or something like that in that sense. But yeah, he's not a Messiah, right? He's just a tool used by God to free the people from Babylonian exile, so they could worship him, yeah, go back and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem and all that sort of stuff, and rededicate themselves to that God, one true God, and all that sort of stuff, right? So some evil guy, Verdanga, in this kingdom of Persia, says, oh, you know, blah blah blah, and he sent these Egyptians or whatever to go destroy that fortress, that temple in that fortress, and they carried off the goodies inside it apparently. So they pleaded with the king, can you you know, let us go there and fix it and all this sort of stuff. And I guess he decreed, you know, that they could do that. But there's certain others who were told, you know, they got to keep away. They were requested of the king to keep them away, you know, while we're doing it. And he eventually said, yeah, he decreed it, yeah, just leave them alone, let them do it. Yeah, but he wanted to destroy it because he said to the king, king's son, Xerxes, oh, you know, if you let him build it, they're going to rise up and then they're going to pay their taxes, etc., etc. And then they'll probably rebel and all this sort of stuff. So he made a decree, oh yeah, on behalf of this guy, go and destroy it, all this sort of stuff, right? And then they made a request later on to be able to go and fix the temple in Jerusalem, and this guy opposed it. You know, once they built it all up and stuff, they got all the stuff back from Babylon that was seized, all the gold and silver, whatever, right? All this sort of stuff. And this guy, he wanted to destroy that as well. Yeah. Okay, what's it say here? Recto. To my brothers Jedaniah and his colleagues, the Jewish garrison, your brother Hananiah, may God the gods seek after the welfare of my brother at all times. And now this year 5 of King Darius, it has been sent from the king to Sames. Now you thus count 14 days in Nisan, and on the 14th at twilight observe the Passover. Okay, that's like the preparation day before the Sabbath day. And from the 15th day until the 21st day of Nisan, observe the festival of unleavened bread. 7 days eat unleavened bread. Now be pure and take heed. Listen up. Do not do work on the 15th day, on the 21st day of Nisan. Okay, because you originally had the Sabbaths that were like, you had the first of the month, it's the sign of a new year, was the full moon, right? And that was just a day of atonement, like the high priest would go on a hill or something like that, or mountain or whatever, and slaughter these unspotted lambs or something like that, right? And then the blood will be sprinkled over the house of Israel, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so you had like a preparation day where everybody did their housework and cooked their food and all that sort of stuff, because they couldn't do any work, anything that was considered work, like house cleaning or baking or anything like that, you know, cooking food, whatever, because that next day was a high Sabbath. Okay, so you had the first, which was the just the indication of a new month and a new moon. Okay, the months supposedly consisted of 29 days. They had an extra 30th one just in case they couldn't see that crescent moon on the 29th, so they'd have the extra one, and then hopefully they'd set, right? Because then it'd lead up to the next day, which should be a full moon, not a Sabbath. So then they would do all this work, their toil, whatever, for 6 days. Okay, preparation days is like the 6th day, and then their Sabbath would be on that day, right? So, first of the month, new moon, Day of Atonement. 6 days later, right? Let's say of the month, that would be the 7th, which would be the that's a date, right? Not the actual 7th day. That would be the date of that month. The 6th day. You got the full moon, and then Day of Atonement, and then you got 6 days, right? Okay, to do all your stuff. So that would be the 7th day. Hang on, got confusing here. Got the first day of the month was indication of the new month, a new month. Okay, then the next day is like not a Sabbath or anything like that. I'm gonna have to write this down. Keep forgetting. Sometimes it's confusing. Then I write it down again from what we remember. Okay, so we don't confuse ourselves, which we're doing. Okay, so you have the first of the month, which is a new moon day. Okay, that's Day of Atonement. That full moon in the sky is a signal of a new month. Okay, the Day of Atonement was when they got that unspotted lamb or whatever from their flock, lambs or whatever, goats, and slaughtered them on this sacrifice, and then they took the blood of that beastie and sprinkled it over the house of Israel for forgiveness of their sins, right? So let's say that's the first of the month, right? Their months were 29 days. They had a 30th as a backup, just in case you didn't see the crescent moon on the 29th, you might see it on the 30th, right? Okay, so then again, the first day is the first of the month, sign of a new moon, sign of the new month, right? A fresh new start. Okay, then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of toil, work, whatever you did. Okay, so let's look at let's use a normal day-to-day calendar, your Gregorian, your Julian Gregorian calendar, right? Say if Sunday was the first, right? That's when the new moon, the new month starts, right? So you go, the next day will be 2nd, say March, right? So 2nd of March. Yeah. So the first is the new moon, sign of a new moon, new month, not a Sabbath. Okay, Day of Atonement. So you go 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, right? So that's the 6th day, which is a preparation day. Okay, so it would be on your calendar, that would be March 7th, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's preparation day. You do all your meals, your house clean, all that sort of stuff, because when the sun sets, that's the start. When it gets dark, right? The sun setting, that's the indication of that Sabbath, that high Sabbath coming in, right? So you can't do any work. You can't pull your ball out of the mud or whatever, or what was stuck in there, whatever, right? That's considered work, right? So on the 8th day, it's a Sabbath. It's a chance to reflect on what God's done for you over the last month or whatever, right? Okay, so you have the 8th, and you do another 6 days. Okay, and it's a preparation day, which should be the 14th. So the 15th is the Sabbath. Okay, you do another 6 days. Okay, and then what's that? 8, 15. Oh, what am I doing? 8, 15, 22nd. Okay, 22nd should be the Sabbath, and you have the 29th, 7 days later, right? But before that, you have the 21st, the 28th, which are what do we just call it? Preparation days. Okay. So in your in the book of Exodus, where the people were moaning, "Oh, you sent us out in the desert and we're starving to death. We've got no food." So God drops the manna, right? And they were told on that 14th of Nisan or whatever month that was, right? You can pick it up, take home as much as you want, eat as much as you want, but don't go picking it on the 15th because that's a high Sabbath, right? Plus logic and common sense, left overnight, you probably get flies all over it, bugs, it starts going rotten, rots fast, whatever, right?
So some people snuck around and picked it up. Greed, right? Whatever. So they were punished for that because they broke God's commandment. Okay, they picked it up on the 15th, which is the high Sabbath day. Okay, so that's how it goes. Okay, so the 29th, using that modern Gregorian calendar as a reference. Okay, what's it called? Gosh, what's it called? The World's Last Chance website, lastchance.org. They explain it all, right? It was all based on the Creator's calendar, which is a lunar solar calendar, not the Papish or Vatican lunar calendar, right? So it was all to do with the Creator's calendar when he made the two great lights, the sun and the moon, okay, for day and night, signs and seasons and all that sort of stuff in Genesis. Okay, on the 29th, you would see, hopefully you would see that crescent moon. Okay, if you didn't, as we said earlier, you had the spare day, the 30th day, so you'd hopefully see it then, and then the next day would be a non-Sabbath day, the Day of Atonement, according to the scriptures, right? And it's not a Sabbath, and you go on from there. So yeah, all these 7-day Adventists, etc., etc., that use that Julian or Gregorian calendar from the what do you call them? Roman Catholics. Right, it's a Roman Catholic based calendar. In those ancient days, they had like 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, right? But they changed it to 7 days. Okay. So that's what everyone's referring to. So these 7-day Adventists again saying, oh, the two Sabbaths are on that every Saturday according to that calendar. So they're using that Roman Catholic calendar to determine their Sabbaths. Okay, when originally it supposedly said that the Jewish, the Hebrews, whatever, changed it over time. Somebody changed it, right? And this World's Last Chance says, we have discovered this and we're repairing their breach. Okay, someone along the way, according to the scriptures, changed the times, the days, the seasons, all that sort of stuff, even the Sabbaths. Okay, but their branch off, the breakaway from this says, no, they're wrong. They're totally wrong. It's not the 8th, 15th, the 22nd, and 29th. It's the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. Right? Okay, but the original World's Last Chance said, no, you're wrong. This is what it says in the scriptures, in Exodus or whatever, right? Okay, we can bring you a video on that using the original Aramaic. Lishana Atika Saprea, translated into English from the Tav Ashret, okay, which was copied by scribes by hand around 800 BCE in Urhai, Edessa, now modern Turkey. So we can bring that to you, okay, that your Sabbaths are actually wrong. We can verify it, we can prove it, okay. There's plenty of evidence out there that you're worshipping on the wrong days, okay. But there's nothing wrong with using this calendar, modern calendar today, to determine those Sabbaths, okay, those true Sabbaths. There's no sin using it, okay. You're not going to go to hell because of it. Yeah, someone else might come out, oh, you're going to go to hell because that sort of crap. Yeah, don't believe that baloney. Okay, they think they know better than someone who's done research, right? Okay, because they're determined to push their particular religion, right? Okay, because that's how they've been wired. Okay, you're not conforming, so they come at you. Okay, so basically, back to this. Okay, now you just count 14 days in Nisan, and on the 14th at twilight, isn't that when darkness, the sun goes down, right? Right? Darkness approaches. Observe the Passover, right? That's when they were freed from Egypt, right? Okay. That's when the blood of the lambs were painted over the or spread over the doors of the Hebrews, right, or Israelites, so that death that was coming would bypass them and go to the Egyptian houses and take their eldest son, all that sort of stuff, cause them problems, right? Okay, so where are we again? Yeah, see, here's the verification. Do not do work
on the 15th day and on the 21st day of Nisan. Okay? Because, yeah, it's about right, something like that. Seems wrong here. If it's on the 21st. Oh, okay, yeah, saying on the 21st day of Nisan, observe the festival of unleavened bread. 7 days eat unleavened bread. Maybe that's a little bit different, okay, because that 22nd should be the Sabbath, okay, or unless, I'm going to have a look at here, unleavened bread. That means it's got no yeast in it, right? It's that matzah bread, right, that the Jews make. Okay, add a bit of salt, whatever it is. Okay, we've got the recipe for that, but we never tried it. You never try to make it. Yeah, so basically it says here, be pure and take heed. Listen up, right? Be holy, be righteous. You have the right mind and take heed. Listen up. Do not do work on the 15th day of that particular month, Nisan, and on the 21st day of Nisan. Okay? Well, it's a preparation day anyway. Okay? But this is probably special. Yeah? Because they wouldn't say, you don't work. Don't stop, don't do work on Nisan, a preparation day. So it must mean something different. Okay, according to this. Okay, a special day. Do not drink any fermented drink, like don't get on the booze. Grape, strong grape drink and get wasted. So you probably forget. Oh, it's a special day. You can't do it anyway. And do not eat anything of leaven. No, yeast in it or anything like that. Okay. Nor let it be seen in your houses from the 14th day. So you couldn't have that bread with yeast in it in your house. Okay, from the 14th day of Nisan at sunset, when the sun goes down, until the 21st day of Nisan, sunset, right? Because then you go bring it back in and you can eat it, or make it and eat it, right, on that particular day. Until then you can't have it in your house, right? Yeah, and bring into your chambers any leaven which you have in your houses, and seal them up during these days. Okay, to my brother Jedediah and his colleagues, the Jewish garrison, your brother Hananiah on PM. So it's basically Pin, whatever his name is. So you basically taking that leaven bread and you're putting it, because it's probably like a little hard or something like that, or maybe keep its softness, perplexity, whatever. Flexibility. So you're putting it somewhere else until a certain amount of time, right? And you go back and you get it and you eat it as normal, right? You just can't bring it in your house and eat it on that day. Something along those lines. Okay. And there's more information here. To my lords Jedediah, Mosiah, Uriah, probably off the Bible, and Garrison, etc. May all the gods seek after the welfare of my lords all times, blah blah blah. We have, since the Egyptians give them a bribe, they've given them a bribe. Okay, one Zivak has complained to an investigator. We have, since the Egyptians, given them a bribe, and from the time that of the Egyptians before Asamis, but thievously, maybe deceptively or something like that. Afraid because they're short of 2 apparently. Pasu, son of Manuki, came to Memphis and the investigator, and he gave him silver, etc. He's happy with it. Hori gave me when they detained him because of the picture. Maybe he stole something. I'm not really sure. This is a jug type thing, isn't it? Turi said, I see at the order of the king, and they detained him, and the damage of Asamis and the compensation of Siha and Hori whom they detained. Maybe they stole something, broke in and stole something from somewhere else. Yeah, and he continues on. To my lords Jedediah, Uriah, and the priest of Yahweh the God, Matan, son of Jashobiah, etc., etc. Now behold, they are coming there to you. Look after them, or somebody. Oh, here we go. And now when Vidrunga, the garrison commander, arrived at Abydos, He imprisoned me because of one dyer's stone which they found stolen in the hand of the merchants. Finally, Siha and Hor, servants of Anani, intervened with Vidrangha and Hornufi with the help of the God of Heaven until they rescued me. Yeah, because this guys are all evil. So and so. They're all nasty. Didn't like them. Wanted the temple and fortress destroyed. And he wanted the Jerusalem one they rebuilt, and the fortress around it and the walls around it destroyed. This is the one at we'll get to that in a minute. Now behold, they are coming near you. You look after them. There's some people sent to them, right? Okay. And so on. Okay. These women were found at the gate of Thebes in Egypt. And they were seized as prisoners, and he had some wife and a couple of others and some men or something like that, because they broke into these houses. They did burglaries, trespassing burglaries, breaking and entering, stealing goodies and all this sort of stuff, right? So they got caught and they had to pay it back. The houses into which they had broken in at Elephantine, and they surely returned to their owners the goods which they had took or they stole. However, they mentioned to their owners silver 120 cash, that's what they pinched as well. May another decree no more be delivered to them here. Okay, so they've got their just punishment, all that sort of stuff for their crime. Yeah, the temple at Elephantine with the fortress, that nasty guy wanted to destroy that. Yeah. Okay, so he hired some Egyptian troops to go and destroy it, which they did, right, and then carried off all the goodies. Gold and silver and whatever was in there. What's it called here? In year 14 of King Darius, when our Lord Samus went to their king, this is the evil act which the priest of Canub, the god, did in Elephantine, the fortress, in agreement with Vidrangha, who was chief here. They gave him silver and gold, or goods. There is part of the royal barley house which is in Elephantine, the fortress. They demolished it and built a wall in the midst of the fortress of Elephantine to stop you from going there, probably, and getting all that stuff, or storing it, whatever, right? And now that wall stands built in the midst of the fortress. There is a well which was built within the fortress, and which did not lack water to give the garrison drink, so that whenever they would be garrisoned there, they would drink the water in that well. Those priests of Canub stopped up that well. They dried it up, right? Or sealed it up so you couldn't use it. If inquiry be made of the judges, police and hearers who are appointed to the province of Tishritis, it would be known to our Lord in accordance with this which they say. Moreover, we are separated. So yes, that evil Vidrangha guy, or Ranga guy, was doing all this nasty stuff, right? Which are in Elephantines, must be a whole lot of people that were in there. The fortress, we increased, we was not found in, to bring meal offering, to offer there to Yahweh the God, in which but a brazier at the fittings they took and made them their own. So yeah, these Egyptians, when they invaded it and burnt it, destroyed it, they took all the goodies in there. If our Lord much we from the garrison, if it please our Lord, etc., etc., may an order be issued. If it please our Lord, they protect the things which to build our temple, which they demolished. See, they wanted, they requested a opportunity to go and repair it after these people had damaged it. Okay, so eventually he grants it. But Gedatus, son of, came to Elephantine fortress, the false Egyptian, the names of the men who did it, whose names are written, men from us they seized and bound in chains of, maybe they took these guys prisoner and carried them off. Okay, and it continues. Things a bit laggy. Okay. You can get this book from archive.org, but you have to borrow it, right? You have to sign up for free, no cost, and you can borrow certain books at your leisure if you want to read them, whatever. Okay. which is a request for the letter of recommendation, first draft, November 25th, 407 BCE. Now his servants did deny, and his colleagues and the Jews, all of them citizens of Elephantine, say thus: if it please our Lord, take thought of that temple to rebuild it, since they do not let us rebuild it. This is that vagina guy again. Regard your obligees, or those obligated to you, and your friends who are here in Egypt. Let a letter be sent from you to them about the temple of Yahweh the God, to rebuild it in Elephantine. That's that one, the fortress, just as it was formerly built, and they will offer the meal offering and incense and the Holocaust or sacrifice on the altar and prayers, to God, to bless them and all that sort of stuff. In your name, King, and we shall pray for you at all times, we and our wives, etc., etc., and the Jews, all of them who are here. If they do thus until that temple be rebuilt, you will have a merit before Yahweh, the God of heaven. So add some credit to him, right? Be smiling upon him. Heaven more than a person who offers him holocausts or sacrifices, whose worth is as the worth of silver, 1,000 talents, and about gold. Because of this we have sent and informed you. Okay, doing a request from him. We moreover sent, in our name sent all these letters, these words, in one letter to Delaiah and Shelemiah, sons of Sanballat, governor of Samaria. Okay, and moreover our Samuels did not know about this, which was done on the 20th of Marshivan, year 17 of King Darius. Okay. So they first requested that Elephantine fortress be rebuilt, and then the temple at Jerusalem. Okay. And here it is here. Request for the letter of recommendation, second draft. To our Lord Bagohi, your servant Jedaniah, the priest and his colleagues, the priests who are in Elephantine, the fortress, and the Jews, all of them. May the God of heaven seek after the welfare, etc., etc. Okay, they want to know if they can rebuild this temple in Elephantine. They're asking for all these tools and equipment and food and stuff, so they can do all that, because Vidranger, this wicked so-and-so, sent a letter to Naphi, his son, who was garrison commander in Syene, the fortress, saying, let them demolish the temple of Yahweh the God, which is in Elephantine, the fortress. Then that Naphi led the Egyptians with the other troops, maybe there's some mercenaries or something like that. They came to the fortress of Elephantine with their weapons, broke into the temple, demolished it to the ground, and the stone pillars which were there, they smashed them. Moreover, it happened that they demolished 5 great gateways built of hewn stone which were in that temple, and the standing doors and the bronze hinges of those doors, because these doors, maybe they've created these doors where it went inward instead of outward, something like that, and they had these hinges, because they had these hinges. They took those, okay, the bronze hinges of those doors, and the roof of that temple, all of its cedar wood, with the rest of these fittings and other things which were there. All of these they burned with fire, but the gold and silver basins and other things which were in the temple, all of these they took and made their own. Okay, they coveted them. And during the days of the kings of Egypt, our fathers had built the temple in Elephantine, the fortress, and when Cambyses entered Egypt, he found the temple built, and they overthrew the temples of the gods of the Egyptians, all of them, and one did not damage anything in that temple. And when this had been done to us, we with our wives and our children were wearing sackcloth, okay, fasting, all that sort of stuff, praying to God, etc., etc. Let's be reminded of what this Ranga did and what happened to him, that temple, right? Okay, so let's gloat over it. God paid you back, bitch. The dogs moved his fetters from his feet, and all goods which he had acquired were lost, and every person who sought evil for that temple, all of them were killed, and we gazed upon them. They're like, good job, payback, something like that, right? Moreover, before this, at the time that this evil was done to us, we sent a letter about this. We sent to our Lord, even to Jehohanan, or whatever his name is, Hohahan, the high priest, how do you say that? Jehohanan, the high priest and his colleagues, the priests who are in Jerusalem, and to Ostanes, the brother of Amani, so forth, so forth. Okay, year 14 of King Darius, and until this day we are wearing sackcloth and fasting, etc., etc. We do not anoint ourselves with oil and do not drink wine. Moreover, from that time and until this day, year 17 of King Darius, they do not make meal offering, incense, and holocaust or sacrifices in that temple. Yeah. Now you, the servants, Jeremiah's colleagues, the priests of Yahweh, and the Jews of them citizens of Elephantine, say this: if it pleases our Lord, take thought of that temple we want to rebuild it, since they do not let us rebuild it. It's Vidgranga and his buddies. Regard your obligees, those obligated friends who are here in Egypt. Let a letter be sent from you to them, like a decree, but the temple of Yahweh, the God, to rebuild it. And Elephantine, the fortress, just as it was formerly built. They want to restore it. Okay, and they'll offer the meal, the same thing, repeating it again, right? Yeah. They pray to God, they get blessings with that sort of stuff for His kindness. They aim to do it, right? All that sort of stuff. Yeah, sometimes it often repeats itself. Okay, recommendation for the reconstruction of a temple after 407 BCE. Okay, it's like a decree, a memo by the king. Okay, offer of payment for a reconstruction of the temple after 407 BCE, and it mentions here Hosea, son of Nathan, probably Nathan. Hosea, son of Jotham, etc. So it basically leads up to them requesting again of this king, Darius' son, because maybe Darius died somewhere on the way. You see him on 300 gets shot with an arrow in the eye or something. Yeah, maybe it's later Fui, maybe died some other way. Okay, petition for recreation of injustice after 434/33 BCE. Okay, and carries on to a point where they request that they'll be allowed to go and rebuild the temple at Jerusalem and the walls around it. Few investigations because a couple of people were up to something no good or something. The leader of Asamis and his colleagues. And they eventually are requesting that they can go back and rebuild that temple in Jerusalem. Okay. Going through this pretty fast. Okay. And apparently they ask him to decree that these other people stay away while they're rebuilding it. These certain people, because they probably tried to destroy it or something like that. They didn't want them there. Questions in great detail to these other leaders. Aramaic leaders from the Bible. Of the 8 Aramaic leaders quoted in the Bible, the 5 in the book of Ezra appear to be authentic. They are arranged in thematic order. Bad, what's that? Rahum, etc., etc. Neutral, good. Chronologically, the second pair is the earliest, around 520 BCE. And the first pair next, around 460 BCE, and this is the order in which they are arranged here in their structure, and formularily the letters bear striking resemblance to the Jeremiah letters, and particularly to the Aramaic correspondence, dealing as they do with the temple in Jerusalem. Their meaning is further enhanced by comparison with the Elephantine documents seeking reconstruction of the Jewish temple there. A4.57 to 10. The eschatological prophecy from Jeremiah is probably a citation from a letter to the exiles. A7.1. There you go. Saw there. Report on reconstruction of temple around 520 BCE. Copy of the letter which Tatanai, governor of the province of beyond the river, and Shethar Bosenai and his colleagues, the investigators who are in the province of beyond the river, sent to King Darius. They sent him a message in such as this was written in it. To King Darius, all greetings. Let it be known to the king that we went to Judah, the province, to the temple of the great God, and it is being rebuilt of hewn stones, and wood is being put in the walls, and that work is being done in full and is succeeding at their hand. Then we asked those elders and said to them as follows: who gave you the order to rebuild the temple and to complete the furnishing? And moreover we asked them their names, etc., etc. We are the servants of God of heaven and earth, and are rebuilding the temple which was built many years before this, and the great king of Israel built it and completed it. But when our fathers agreed the God of heaven, angered the God of heaven, he gave them into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonian, right? Oh, Chaldean, yeah, king of Babylon, yeah, Babylonian. And he demolished this temple and exiled the people to Babylon, so they became under exile of him, right? And they weren't allowed to do their religious stuff, right? That's what they said in their song, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down or knelt and we wept. We remember Babylon, right? By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and there we wept. We remember Zion, yes, right? Okay. King Cyrus removed from the sanctuary of Babylon and all the gold that they stole, all the temple goodies, okay, and they were given to one named Sheshbazzar, whom he had appointed governor. And he said to him, these vessels go deposit them in the sanctuary which is in Jerusalem, and let the temple of God be rebuilt on its site. You see, there you go. He was a tool. King Cyrus was a tool. Okay, it's Cyrus. Yeah, it's Cyrus. He was the tool used by God to allow the people to go back and build that temple in Jerusalem, so they can return to worshipping him in the correct way as he required, etc., etc. And now, if it please the king, let search be made in the treasury of the king which is there in Babylon, to see if it is so that the order was issued by King Cyrus to rebuild that temple of God in Jerusalem, and let him send us the wish of the king in this matter. Yeah, okay, whatever he decides. Yeah, so no one can oppose him. Or someone comes and says, hey, No, I got the order, bro. Got the decree. Yeah, see? King Darius issued an order, and they searched in the archives where they deposited the shoes. Sorry, we may have got this wrong because it's so freaking small we can't hardly see it, even with a magnifying glass. Yeah, in the year of one of King Cyrus issued an order, the temple of God in Jerusalem. Let the temple be rebuilt, a site where they offer sacrifices, and its foundation are raised up high, its height 60 cubits, etc., etc. The 3 courses of hewn stone and a course of new wood, and let the expense be given from the palace of the king. And moreover, let them return the gold and silver from Babylon, right? They stole vessels of the temple of God, which Nebuchadnezzar removed from the sanctuary. Yeah, give it back, Mr. Nebuchadnezzar, you thief. Yeah, which is in Jerusalem, and besought to Babylon let each go to the sanctuary which is in Jerusalem to its site, and you should deposit it in the temple of God. Okay. Yeah, this guy here, Tatanai, governor of the province of beyond the river, and Shethar Bozenai and their colleagues, the investigators who are in the province of beyond the river, stay away from there. Yeah, make a decree. Leave the work on that temple of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews rebuild that temple of God on its site. And as an order was issued by the king as to what you should do for those elders of the Jews to rebuild that temple of God from the goods of the king, coming from the tribute of the province of beyond the river. Let the expense be given in full to those men, that they not stop So whatever they need, whatever is necessary, bulls, lambs, rams, gold, silver, sacrifices, whatever they wanted, request it, and an order was issued by him that any person who alters this decree shall have a beam removed from his house, and he shall be impaled on it. Ooh, a bit like Vlad the Impaler, right? In his treatment of the Turks. Upon it, and his house shall be made into ruins that destroy it. No more house. No more reminder of you, you nasty beast. And may the God who made his name dwell there, overthrow any king of people who shall put forth his hand to alter this decree, or that law, right? Or to damage that temple of God which is in Jerusalem. So no one can hassle them while they're rebuilding it, right? Because it's a decree by that king. The Tataru, governor of the province of beyond the river, and Shethar, Bosanai, and their colleagues did in full just what King Darius sent them to do. Okay. And it continues. Trying to get to the end here, because this is all historic. Okay. It's coming from those records. There's a person here. Probably this who's this guy? An antagonist. Okay. It's a copy of the letter which they sent to him. He's shown it to King Artaxerxes, or Xerxes, your servants, men of the province of beyond the river. And now let it be known to the king that the Jews who came up from you have come to Jerusalem. They are rebuilding that rebellious and wicked city. They are completing the walls and repairing the foundation. Now let it be known to the king that if the city be rebuilt and the walls completed, they will not give tribute, poll tax, or land tax, and in the end she will harm kings. Now since we eat of the salt of the palace, and it's not fitting for us to see that nakedness of the king, etc., etc., for this reason we have sent and informed the king that he should search in the book of records of your fathers, and you'll find in the book of records and know that the city is a rebellious city and harmful to kings and provinces, and they have been acting seditiously within it from days of old. So they're lying, telling all these lies, right, because they want it destroyed. They want these people destroyed, all that sort of stuff. They want that temple stopped, because they get all powerful, they reckon. For this reason that city was destroyed. We informed this king that if that city be rebuilt and its walls completed, you will thereupon not have a portion of in the province of beyond the river. So you won't have any part on that place there, the goodies from there, the benefits from there. Okay, it's like a bribe, threat, a subtle threat. We'll cut you off, we'll boycott you, and you won't be able to do trading or get goodies from there. Right? Okay. Royal order to cease work on fortifications around 460 BCE. The king sent a message to Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their colleagues who reside in Samaria and in the rest of the province of beyond the river, probably Jerusalem, right? Israel. Greetings. And now the rescript which you sent us to us has been read before me in translation and in order, because he didn't know the language, so obviously he had a translator that related it to him in his language. An order was issued by me, and they searched and found that that city has risen up against kings from days of old, to when they were rebuilding it, and rebellion and sedition have been carried out in it, and mighty kings have been over Jerusalem and ruling throughout all province of beyond the river, and tribute, poll tax, and land tax has been given to them. Now issue an order to stop those men and that cities not to be rebuilt until decree is issued by me, their king, and take care not to act with neglect, and the least damage increase to the harm of kings. Don't rise up and try and battle us and invade us and harm us, all that sort of stuff. Then when copy of the rescript of King Artaxerxes was read before Rehum and Shimshai, the scribe, and the colleagues, they went in haste to the Jews in Jerusalem and stopped them by might and force. Okay, so maybe they stopped because you had that threat of, if you don't, they're going to destroy it, right, and kill you off, all that sort of stuff. And this is a copy of the rescript which King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra, the priest, and scribe in matters of the commandments of the Lord and his statutes upon Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra, the priest and scribe of the law of the God of heaven, and so forth. And now an order was issued to me, or by me, to anyone of the people, Israel, or his priests or Levites in my kingdom who volunteer to go to Jerusalem may go with you. because instructions have been sent by the king and his 70 advisors to regulate Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of your God, which is in your hand, etc. And everything you want, silver and gold, which you will find in the whole province of Babylon, together with the contributions of the people and priests which they contribute to the temple of their God, which is in Jerusalem, etc., etc. So because of this, you can buy in full all the goodies that you want, right? With the money, bulls, rams, lambs, meal offerings, sacrifices, etc., whatever you need, right? And the rest of the needs of the temple of your God, which shall fall to you to give you, you may give from the treasury of the king. They could probably receive it free or actually pay for it with the money, that money that they've given, right? Reparation type money, right? So an order was issued by me, I, Artaxerxes, to all the treasurers who are in the presence of beyond the river, that whatever Ezra the priest and scribe of the law of the God of heaven shall ask of you, you shall be done in full. Up to 100 talents of silver, 100 quart of wheat, 100 bath of wine, etc., etc. And you, Israel, by the wisdom of your God which you possess, appoint magistrates and judges who will be judging all the people that rule over them, right? Who are in the province of beyond the river, probably Jerusalem, all who know the laws of your God, and whoever does not know you should inform. And anyone who is not obeying the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be done upon him full, whether by death or chastisement or confiscation of goods or imprisonment. So this king approved of that Mosaic law, right? If you covet, if you steal, if you do this, you do that, they'll chuck rocks at you, right? It's punishable by death. Okay. So he said, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's going to happen to them if they do it. Okay, so in this king Artaxerxes' kingdom, probably in Persia, he's given them the decree that they can leave and go and repair this temple in Jerusalem. Some went, some didn't, or some went, a lot didn't. And then to an encyclical letter of Nebuchadnezzar in praise of God. King Nebuchadnezzar, did he ever go evil after he supposedly became an animal man? King Nebuchadnezzar, to all the people, nations and languages that dwell in all the earth, may your welfare abound. The signs and wonders that the Most High God has done for me, it is pleasing for me to relate. How great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, his rule is from generation to generation. So he must have come to realise that of this one true God, right? So he turned, repented or whatever, and praised God. Then King Darius wrote, it was the encyclical letter of Darius decreeing obedience to the God of Daniel. Then King Darius wrote, to all peoples, nations and languages that dwell in all the earth, may your welfare abound. May you be blessed, right? May your life be great. An order was issued by me that in all the domain, that's the king, of my kingdom, they should tremble in fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God and endures forever. His kingdom shall not be destroyed, and his rulers to the end. He delivers and saves and does signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, for he saved Daniel from the hands of the lions. Because he heard about it. They got chucked at the lions, and the lions just, I don't know, licked them or something. Ignored them, didn't eat them. So obviously there was a God with them. And then maybe he realised this, so he says, people, listen up. Everyone in my land, speaking different language, everybody on the earth, every man, woman, child, listen up, because you're going to worship. You should tremble and worship before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God and endures forever. His kingdom shall not be destroyed, and his rule is to the end. He delivers and saves, etc., etc. So that's verification from this Persian king, historically. His acknowledgement of the one true God. So all those people out there says, oh, God doesn't exist, la 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 la, all this sort of stuff. It's all a fairy tale. Well, sorry, but you owe me a 7-course dinner and some dancing and some roses, some chocolates. So expecting those in the mail, all you atheists, etc. Right? So that's verification historically that the Bible is not all fairy tales. Okay, it's historically evident right here in these old letters, right, that were found in Egypt, right, ranging from personal letters to friends, family, etc., and then these letters to the king, who then wrote letters indicating a decree that the Jews would be able to leave and go back and repair that temple, okay, without hindrance. Nobody bugged them, right? Okay. So if you like this video, we're pretty short recorded, and it didn't stop halfway through by itself, then subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments down below, and we'll get back to them sometime this year. And then go tell your family, friends, neighbours, Christians, Jews, Muslims, whatever, about this particular video, and us, the Ministry of the Real Truth, report it to you. Okay, that this verifies historically, there's historical evidence here that this guy Daniel existed, that this thing happened to him. Him and his mates, homies, didn't get eaten by the lions, and the Jews were allowed to go back after the exile with the Babylonians and rebuild that temple that they destroyed. They've been given all the goodies back that they took, they carried off. The Babylonians, King Nebuchadnezzar, had in storage, etc. And then he woke up and realized, hey man, wow, what a miracle, all these things are happening. So, like the king of Persia, Artaxerxes, what his name was, Xerxes, he realized too, hey man, this God's miraculous, the God of Daniel. So he's giving a heads up to all the people in the world. All the countries say no, they were invaded, all the nations, whatever, with all the different languages, peoples and languages. Worship the one true God, the God of Daniel, because he's for real, right? Okay. So maybe it's God speaking through that king. Hey world, wake up and realize I am God, and through this man he will testify that I'm God and that you should be worshipping me like these Jews. Okay, so subscribe, give us a like, add your comments, share, and we might see you in part 3.